Yo, 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 YouTube, what's going on? Jay Johnson, Truck the World. Coming to you from my truck right now. We're going to get into this whole self-investment, the importance of self-investment, why you should be investing in yourself, especially at a young age. And it's going to be the best investment you ever made. I can promise you that. But before I get into that, right now, I'm sitting about a half a mile away from the pier. This pier is called Global. It's one of the smaller piers. I'm picking up a load right now, and it's going to go to Connecticut. It's going to be about 240 miles round trip, and this load is going to be paying out around $800, maybe $805, something like that. And then yesterday I had a load from Jersey to Greencastle, Pennsylvania. That load was around $750, and that load was, I think, 450 miles round trip. And then Wednesday I did the same thing. And then Tuesday I did a little short load just to get back into the game because I was out for the past couple weeks with the whole clutch situation. You know, it cost me an arm and a leg, clutch, couple tires. So within those 4 days, I think I'm up around $2,600 maybe. And then I still got Monday and Tuesday to close out the week. But Monday I'm not running a load. I got to come in for some dumbass training and hazmat, a whole bunch of dumb shit. And then Tuesday I'm gonna get another $700 to $800 load. So that should put me just north of $3,000 for the week. And then I'm gonna try to repeat the same thing the next week. To try to start gaining back some of that revenue that we spent on the clutch and tires. So now, this whole self-investment thing, if you know my story, a couple years back when I first started driving, I always knew I wanted to own my own trucking company. Like right when I first got into driving, I knew I wanted to own my own trucking company. So how I self-invested really quick was when I drove for a couple years. I drove for a couple years, Class C and Class B vehicles, right? So once I got my income tax check, I got about $3,000. I went to the driving school, I put down that $3,000. At that point, I just invested in myself, right? Took the driving class, I passed. I got a company job driving. While I had this company job, I was owning my skill. I was getting the hang of it. In this driving game, there's so many different parts of it. You got to learn how to drive with weight on you. You have to learn how to drive empty, how to downshift, how to drive up and down hills, inclement weather, rain, snow. You got to know how to drive in tight areas. You got to know how to back up in tight areas. You know, things of that nature. And no lie, it took time. It took me about 3 to 4 years to own my craft. Once I owned my craft, I felt more comfortable with myself on learning the business, the money, the expenses, the accounts, how to book loads, how to string loads together, how to network, how to market myself, how to be more approachable, how to be likable. All of these things, my appearance, all of these things you have to learn on the go. So once I felt comfortable with all of those qualities, and then I felt comfortable with the actual driving part, then I started my own business. I formed my company, which in a couple videos below, I showed you how to form your company. I formed my company, I got my vehicle, and I signed my contract to a mega carrier. And that's how I self-invested. It's not hard, guys. You don't have to be a brain surgeon, rocket scientist, all of that. You don't have to be none of that. It's just a matter of being disciplined. You get a trade, you own that trade, know how to work that skill in every which way, and then bam, you shoot for the stars. A lot of people are not disciplined nowadays. They try one thing for a year, Oh, I like it, I don't like it. Then they try something else. And then they try something else. And then they try something else. All of that's fine if that's your style. But, through my experience, I learned if you focus on one thing, then your goals is that much, more achievable. So that was my story and how I self-invested in myself. I'm going to give you some tips on how to self-invest. If you like the tips, great. You like the video, you subscribe to it, you share the channel. If you don't like it, thank you for watching anyway. I appreciate your time and your honesty. But the first thing is first, you want to start making some achievable goals. Achievable goals. I hear people all the time, and I want to sell 1 million mixtapes, or I want to, something crazy like I want to own 10 McDonald's. All right, how you gonna sell 1 million mixtapes? No one has ever heard of you outside of Suffolk County, which is my county. And no disrespect to anybody who does this type of things. I'm just trying to give you an illustration of the type of goals, the unrealistic goals. Oh, I want to have 10 houses and 15 cars. Fine. You got to start from somewhere. Achievable goals. That's number one. Number two is you have to be very disciplined. Once you figure out what it is that you're going to do, you have to dedicate a certain amount of hours a day on that craft, owning that craft. It could be anything. Plumber, an electrician, HVAC, Class A license, landscaping, a painter, whatever it is, you own that skill. Now, it may take you 2 to 3, 5, 6 years to own that skill, but as long as you stay disciplined and you stay on your path, everything will work out. I could promise you that everything will work out. Realistic goals, you gotta be disciplined. Another thing you want to do is learn the business side of whatever it is you're doing. Pricing, taxes, finances, whatever else it comes, to the business side. And another thing is, you got the pricing, you got your whole accounting, you want to learn the operations, you want to talk to people who've walked that path, who've done that thing, who've done that same thing or a similar thing. You want to talk to these people. One of my biggest mistakes I made when I was coming up being a business owner, I thought I knew everything, so I wasn't trying to talk to people. And as I started talking to people, as I started hanging out with certain people, they started teaching me things that I would have never known about the business side of trucking. So, and there's a number of things you could do, once you get your taxes back at the end of the year and you get that lump sum of money, you and a friend or you and a wife or you and a family member, get your money back, go buy 2 lawnmowers, 2 leaf blowers, 2 trimmers, and go rent you a trailer. You incorporate yourself, which doesn't cost a lot of money. Now you got a landscaping business. If you want to be an HVAC technician, you invest in yourself, putting yourself through the proper schooling, your training, licenses, all of that, whatever. You get your license, you work for a company, you own the skill. It may take you a couple years to learn everything about the skill. Then it's going to take you a couple years to learn about the actual business side. Once all of that stuff is established, you walk around your neighborhood, every single street, mailbox, everything, doorstep, you put a little business card or a little flyer. HVAC technician, highly skilled, call for your free quote. Post yourself up on Craigslist, on Facebook. At that point, it's all about the marketing. You get yourself out there. You know, there's a whole number of things you could do. You got a little piece of change in your pocket, go to Walmart, buy 100 t-shirts for $3 a pop. You go put some shit on a t-shirt, a good logo, a good saying, a good picture. Put that on the t-shirt, double the price. You know, $3 for the t-shirt. It cost me $5 to put whatever is on the t-shirt. Okay, $8. Now you sell your t-shirt for $16, $17. So many ways you could self-invest. And a lot of the time, the problem is people, they buy dumb shit. They buying Gucci belts and Infinities and Mercedes Benz while they working dead-end jobs to give the perception that they're doing their thing, when really they're not. It's just a perception that they're giving off to the public, which that's something I will never understand. But, you know, for those people who do it, okay, cool, it's working for you, whatever. But stop investing in these dumbass things. You know, nobody cares that you got on a $600 pair of phone posits. Nobody cares that you have every single Jordan that came out. Nobody cares that you have designer belts and designer wallets. Nobody cares. We spend too much time investing in shit that don't mean nothing. Invest in yourself. It's going to be the best investment. I haven't bought a new pair of sneakers or a new pair of jeans or new anything in God knows how long. I'm too busy getting my money, flipping it, putting it back into the business. Getting my money, flipping it, and paying for business expenses. Getting my money, putting it back into my house. Getting my money, putting it into my children. Getting my money and putting it back into myself. And that's why next summer, Truck the World is going to expand. Because I'm about to start self-investing again. It's all about self-investing, having achievable goals, and being disciplined. In the beginning, I was not disciplined. I was running around, making a ton of money, blowing it, having a good time. I was cutting corners. And while I was doing this, I was just shorting myself every week when that paycheck came in and I had to pay myself. So, you know, that's my tips on self-investment. I'm going to do another video on self-investment, self-motivation. I'm actually going to bring one of my boys in to speak on self-investment. I told you my story. I want him to tell you his story on how he got where he's at. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to tell you what he did until I can get the approval to get him, you know, on my channel. But it's a very interesting story. He worked his ass off to get where he got to get, and now he owns something. So that's my tips on self-investment. If you need to talk to me, want to get some one-on-one self-investment tips, email me at trucktheworld27@gmail.com. If you like my video, share it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and again, you can reach me at trucktheworld27@gmail.com. Thank y'all.